Well, before we speak with Rupert, we wanted to spend a bit of time just recapping on our last episode, which was, of course, the discussion on mindfulness with Tim Jack Adams. And I think both of us got a fair bit out of that. Tim, are you now a convert to mindfulness?
Well, I've got a question for you. How's your battery?
It's like your gym performance, weak. What did you take away from the conversation with Tim Jack?
Well, even more than taking away, I downloaded the Green X7 app. And actually, it is fantastic, genuinely fantastic. And I ran it last night, so I could tell you proudly that I'm 85% charged. Mm-hmm. He mentioned on the podcast the really cool other aspect of the application that you can share with your crew. So I've got my family and some of my closest friends that I'm sharing my results of the battery with. In fact, incidentally, I invited you. You haven't accepted the invitation.
I'm neither family nor friend, Tim.
And the negatives for me on the battery side, I need more fun and better nutrition is what it told me last night.
Yeah.
I loved his layers of happiness.
I can wake up in the morning and, I'll have some gratitude time, do my stretching and a bit of things. I'll have some moments of gratitude. And then, you'll go and get a coffee and that's added another layer of happiness.
I think that's a really nice explanation of how you can incrementally improve your happiness. And the simple three things that he mentioned in demystifying that big word mindfulness: sleep, move, breathe, in that order. And one of the interesting things I tend to do, because I don't have great discipline in the morning, but I do like getting up early, is I put my alarm out of reach and I make sure that the first thing I do is get my feet on the floor, and that seems to get me going. And for those that are looking for a gift of some description, or even a gift for yourself, must read the book Manhood by Steve Biddulph. I read a book years ago that pretty much changed my outlook on life and the sort of things that you're talking about. The book is Manhood by Steve Biddulph. For men, for boys, for grandfathers, sons, grandsons, that book is incredible.
So one of your key takeaways was your own advice to buy Manhood. Good. Look, from my perspective, the big one was breathing. I have long been an advocate of the power of breath, getting in control of your physiological state to have all those calming impacts on your emotion. And so it was great to hear Tim speak about that. And the other one for me were some of his really tangible ways of starting a conversation. And I think particularly as men, maybe specifically as Aussie men, that can be really difficult to make that first step. And his description of the playing cards.
We actually created a card game around basically, because I grew up with a lot of brothers. Two of them have been in and out of rehabs for over a decade now, really struggling to work out how to open up to blokes. We created this card game where you basically lay out 8 cards, and on each card one says sleep, relationships, friendships, mental health, physical health, fun, and etc. And basically you just ask the person on the other end, pick a card that you're feeling pretty good with at the moment.
How are you doing in these areas to depersonalise it? I thought was just fantastic. And as you said, the app is a great way of having that conversation starter.
So with my battery 85% charged and yours having a question mark over the top, let's get on with the show.